Have you ever been to an animal shelter? Well, I have, and 9 times out of 10, they are overcrowded, unhygienic, and understaffed. Now, animal shelters are great because they give shelter to animals instead of having them roam the streets. But what if I told you there's a better way to give shelter to a pet, prepare them for adoption, and possibly save their life? Today, I'm going to tell you why you should consider fostering a pet, how it is great for you, great for the pet, and prepares them for adoption. First, I will talk about why shelters are not the best option for animals waiting to be adopted. As I stated before, shelters are understaffed, overcrowded, and unhygienic. This can cause numerous issues with animals. For example, many kittens need overnight care, but most shelters don't provide that due to understaffing. If the kitten cannot survive overnight on its own, the shelter will euthanize the kitten unless a foster home becomes available. Many cats and dogs also have special needs. These animals will most likely be put down in a traditional shelter, but even in a no-kill shelter, these animals will be neglected due to overpopulation in the shelter, causing their conditions to worsen. Lastly, animal shelters are ideal settings for disease transmission from animal to animal. The article, Behavioral Predictors of Subsequent Respiratory Illnesses Signs in Dogs Admitted to an Animal Shelter, states that the stress of being in an animal shelter also reduces the animal's immune system ability to fight off diseases and viruses. Here on the screen to the left, we have a kitten we fostered named Figgy. Figgy was extremely small and would not have made it through the night if he was at a shelter. And to the right is another kitten we fostered a few years ago named Salem. While we were fostering Salem, we discovered he was blind. And if he was at a shelter, he may have been put down because they didn't want to deal with his disability. Some people argue that all these things can happen at a foster home, so why push fostering on others? However, it would be very rare for this to happen at a foster home. People get this argument from when people foster children. Many people foster children but neglect them because they just do it for the financial boost. This is not the case with fostering animals, though, because you are not paid. You are reimbursed for pet food, but other than that, you make no money off fostering. You do it to be around and to care for the animal. So why would someone foster an animal just to neglect it? There is a way to stop this neglect of animals in shelters, however, and it is simple: to foster. Fostering is very easy and requires very little work. Most local shelters have a fostering program where it is easy to sign up and become a foster mom or dad. If you are having trouble finding a shelter around you, the website Pet Finder also has a section that helps you look for animals who need to be fostered. Here on the left, we have a kitten that we're bottle feeding named Natty. He had a brother named Bo. And then in the middle is a very young me and a dog we fostered named Benji. And to the right is another kitten who named Kiwi, who had a sister named Peaches we fostered last summer. Now let's get into the multiple benefits of fostering an animal. We've discussed how a pet's life is simply better in a foster home, but let's dive more into that. Pets are much happier at a foster home getting specialized attention than at an animal shelter with 50 or more pets. The Best Friend Animal Society states that many pets get very anxious in a shelter, but they will be happier and more playful at a home. They will also have much more room to relax or run around than at a shelter. You can also be saving the pet's life by fostering it. As previously mentioned, you can save a kitten who would not make it through the night, or a dog who is blind and would need to be put down. Fostering a pet also means you meet the potential adoptee and make sure the pet is going to a good home. Here's more pictures of our last foster named Figgy. A woman was interested in him and she asked about declawing him, which the organization we foster for and we as a family do not stand for at all. So she was denied being able to adopt him. And now he is at a great home where he doesn't have to worry about being declawed. So you get to know who is adopting the animal and make sure they're going to a good home. You also are not only saving that one pet as well, but you are saving multiple because by fostering, you're creating more room at the shelter for other animals on the streets. Fostering a pet also has multiple advantages for you. If you want a pet but you are unsure if you're ready, you can test the waters with fostering a pet. If you find the job easy, you can be ready for your own pet. If it's a little too challenging but you love animals, you can keep fostering. When me and my sisters were all young, my parents loved animals, but they weren't ready for their own dog. So we began fostering dogs and we got lots of experience with them. And then we began fostering a dog named Callie. She's a Weimaraner. There's an old picture of her and a picture of her in the last few months of her life. And she was amazing. We all fell in love with her, so we adopted her. She passed away in 2016. And then a few months later, we adopted a puppy named Luna, who was also a Weimaraner, and she's crazy but amazing. Without Callie, we never would have found Luna because we didn't even know Weimaraners were a breed. And without fostering, we never would have found Callie, who was an amazing dog for so many years. Fostering is also great for animal lovers who cannot commit to a pet either due to money reasons or if your job requires a lot of travel. Most shelters and organizations will reimburse you for pet food and take care of all the pet's medical expenses. Lastly, pets improve people's mental health. A study done in 2009 by the Iraq Medical University shows that people without pets have greater anxiety and sleep disorders than people with pets. Also, the Human Animal Bond Institute did a survey where 72% of pet owners revealed that their pet helps them with their mental health. Fostering also prepares the pet for adoption way better than a shelter would. Being a foster parent, you are preparing the pet for life at home. You are preparing the pet to interact with others and get used to things like getting picked up and just being around humans in general. You also get a better feel for the animal while fostering, and you can answer necessary questions like, does this dog need a long walk every day, or do they prefer to lounge on the couch? Is this cat good with other animals? Is this dog good with children? Knowing these questions can help you match the pet to the best forever home. Another story I have is a few years we fostered a cat named Nellie, and Nellie was very sweet and very cuddly, but we noticed our own cat, Lola, started acting weird. She would barely go downstairs, she stopped using her litter box and was barely eating. We then discovered Nellie was intimidating Lola because Nellie wanted to be the only cat in the house getting attention. So Nellie eventually went to a different foster home for our own cat's sake, but we made sure that when she was adopted, she would be going to a home that was only, she would be the only cat in said home because she liked all the attention and did not do well with other cats. And then here on the screen, we just have our first animal we ever fostered named Bear. In 2007, I was 5 years old. And then to the right, me and my sister holding another foster dog we had named Peanut. Fostering pets is truly a way to save multiple animals' lives. As you can see, fostering a pet is an amazing experience that benefits you, the pets, the shelters, and potential pet adopters. I extremely encourage all of you to find a local shelter and begin fostering. Since I was 5 years old, my family and I have fostered over 50 pets, from kittens abandoned by their mothers to a dog named Buddy who had a scraped nose because he pushed his dog friend across the street after he was struck by a car. Fostering pets has changed my life and it will change yours as well. There's Buddy. He was an amazing dog and he helped save the life of his friend, and that's why he has a scraped nose. Phoebe and Donovan, which were these two puppies we fostered. And then here is last summer, more cats we fostered, Peaches and Kiwi. Here are my references, and thank you.